Howdy, y'all. It's Angela. So, today's issue: why this white mom is voting for Trump. I want to be clear. I didn't start out as a never Trumper because, to be honest, I was a never Hillary. I did not like Donald Trump. I've talked about this in the past. And um, much like Brendan Starker from the Walk Away movement, I watched the Donald Trump mock what I thought was mocking a disabled reporter, unknowing at the time that he was mocking everybody that way. So, yeah, that bothered me a lot at the time, and I feel a little duped because I do try to stay informed. But when it comes to Donald Trump, I didn't. I was resistant, but a part of that honestly was the Trump base, which I do not consider myself a part of at the time, but I do now. But they were not kind. They were not kind at all. And when I say they weren't kind to fellow Republicans. They were very SJW like, and it was very off putting to me. I'm not going to lie. So I sort of shut it all down because it was just so gross. And I stopped even. That's actually what drove me off of Facebook, to be honest. So anyway, I was never Orange Man bad. I mean, at all. But I mean, I was never rather a never Trumper, but I was absolutely Orange Man bad. I actually even had a Facebook group page called Orange Man Bad. So, and it was quite popular at the time back in 2015, 2016. So, also, I called him, this was my favorite nickname for him. It was Carrot Caligula, and I'm still kind of proud of it. I'm not going to lie, but now I have it, I use it as a more of a term of affection. Anyways, so as I was getting ready to come out and talk about this and why, I just kind of wanted to get a sense of where the media was at with the white voter or the female voter in general. And so I pulled up and it says, why did 53%, this is going back obviously to it was written in May 2020, so just 2 months ago today, actually. But it's going back looking at the 2016 elections. So it's why did they vote for him? And it's kind of funny. It says since 2016, many of us. Oh, this article, by the way, I'm sorry. It is the Chicago Sun-Times, written by a woman named Natalie Y. Moore on May 21st, 2020, and she says. She's referencing Mrs. America. I don't know if you guys saw that series. I watched it on Hulu. It was okay. Interesting. I, it's got to be looked at through the lens of the time, quite frankly, and to apply Phyllis Shively, Shively's, whatever, to Shively's, to apply her view of the world to today is a little misleading, but it helps sort of it helps you get a perspective, the lens of history and how the progression of, equality and the notion of it sort of, for women sort of came along in this country. So, okay, it is what it is. So Mrs. America, it says, was the current television drama on Hulu about 1970 feminism and its backlash. Could easily slip into the subtitle, a precursor to the 53%. The 53%, of course, being the reference to the white women who voted Donald Trump for president. Gasp! Horror! Ah! Since 2016, many of us have tried to make sense of how a majority of white women could vote for a man who bragged about grabbing women's genitals and uttered other sexist remarks on and off the campaign trail. Are they voting against their interest? Are they overlooking sexism? I say no. Mrs. America helps answer some of those questions through the story of Phyllis Shively, the right-wing woman from downstate Alton who organized those equal rights amendments. Organized against those equal rights amendments. A centerpiece of women's liberation movement, the ERA boosted bipartisan support, or boasted bipartisan support. Republican President Richard Nixon supported it, Congress passed it, and the polls consistently showed Americans in favor of it. But the ERA had to be ratified by three-fourths of the states, 38, before it could become part of the U.S. Constitution. Mrs. America serializes how momentum from the amendment's passage was reversed via cunning organization by Phyllis Shively, or by Shively. To Shively, her white middle class, and this is where I take issue, and this is why I'm reading this to you. To Shively, her white middle class army of homemakers, women's lib was a pejorative that undermined their roles as women destined to stay at home and take care of their husbands and children. Watch out for those radical lesbians, they warned. But here's the thing, and it even mentions this. Phyllis Shively had a master's degree in, I want to say, political science or geopolitical something. She was not a dumb woman. Um, And I don't, I mean, obviously, this was a Hulu portrayal of who the woman was, performed by Kate Blanchett, who, honestly is a fantastic, fantastic actress. But, um, so I'm adjusting this while I talk. I apologize. So here we go. Is that better? Sure. Okay. Sorry about that. Anyways, Phyllis Shively, she also went back to school for a law degree in her 50s. She was not a dumb woman. And to suggest that we were concerned, or women in general at the time or today, are concerned about the ERA disrupting our place in the kitchen or taking care of our man and our kids is a little absurd, I would have to say. So I think what this woman here at the Chicago Sun-Times, Natalie, whatever, um, I don't mean that with disrespect. I just don't remember the last name. I think they misunderstand how we view our conservative women, and such as myself. I can really only speak for myself and people I've spoken with. I am not a second class citizen. The Constitution does protect me. I do have equal rights. I do have voting rights. Yes, there are some cultural things that needed adjustment, but I think we're there. And I don't think we can have government interference any longer. I didn't need an equal rights amendment to declare me a whole American. That's absurd. Women have come very far and done their own thing. And much like Dr. Jordan Peterson talks about, women will pursue their own paths. And we've seen that in the Scandinavian countries, but women will pursue their own paths. I don't want to be a bricklayer. I don't want to be a CEO. I hate it. My husband does. I don't. I just want to sit here, research, make my little, share my little thoughts. I'm in rural New Hampshire, surrounded by a bunch of liberals, so I got you guys. Mwah, thank you. Anyway, so this woman doesn't understand me, and yet it goes on and on and on for quite some time here, guys, explaining me to me and to the world. So there's that 53% issue. And then over here we go to the undefeated, and they're talking about how black women turned out in droves for Hillary, and they still can't understand how we came out for Trump. Hillary was supporting partial birth abortion, full-term babies. Hillary is responsible for Benghazi. Hillary is suicide by Clinton scares me as a means of dealing with things we don't like in this country or we want to get out of in this country. Hillary has avoided, testifying under oath and being, put into a deposition. Thank you, Judicial Watch. So of course I didn't support Hillary. I had my reservations about Trump primarily because I'm not going to lie again. I say it was because of his base was very, very the vitriol was very upsetting to me. I'm not going to lie. I was a Ted Cruz supporter, guys. Anyway, but I was concerned about that, and I didn't have a record to watch him. I watched Trump sort of be, I don't want to say waffle on certain things, but he went back and forth on, I watched him with DACA kids. He met them in his office and he's changed his opinions. And I was okay with that, but I didn't know how far that went. I didn't know if that was a demonstration of his willingness to hear people out, which I approved of, or just a flip-floppy thing. I didn't know. I didn't know enough about the man. I knew who Donald Trump was. I mean, I grew up in the 80s. Of course I knew who Donald Trump was. He was on the cover of everything all over the place and on TV constantly. And he was the symbol of the Reagan economics, Reagan era, was he not? Anyway, so of course I knew who Donald Trump was, but when it comes to his politics, and his family weren't registered Republicans or even independents, they were all Democrats, and their abortion stance was concerning. So I had reservations about Donald Trump. I didn't really get bothered about his commentary about his mating habits. I've mentioned this in the past, and about grabbing women's parts. I didn't get all that upset about that. I chalk that up to guys being gross. It just, guys are gross. Why are you guys so gross? Anyways, this video is, I'm voting for Donald Trump because Joe Biden scares the crap out of me. Not even because of his politics, because he's not fully there. And an empty suit is a dangerous, dangerous thing to have as a president, is it not? Also, I'm voting for Donald Trump because I am not one of those that's going to subscribe to the notion that I'm voting for Joe Biden, even though I think he might be a rapist or a pedophile. And we all know he is a straight up racist. So I can't abide by that. I'm voting for Joe Biden because I don't think he has a full comprehension of what the Marxists are doing to his campaign. I mean, I'm not voting for. Voting for Donald Trump. Did I just say that? Ooh, if I did, my bad. I'm voting for Donald Trump because I don't think Joe Biden has a full understanding of what the Marxists are doing to his campaign. I'm voting for Donald Trump because I like what he's done with the wall. I like what he's done with foreign trade. I like what he's done with international relations. I like that he went to NATO and he called those people to their faces on their crap and about, them owing money while they were building this lovely new building. I like it. I like that he turned stuff around. I like that he hired Kayleigh McEnany. I like the man. Has he had some missteps? Sure. Has he misspoken? Sure. But you know what else he doesn't do? He doesn't lecture me. He doesn't lecture me. He doesn't virtue lecture me like the last president. He doesn't screech at me like Hillary. He makes me feel like anything's possible. And I remember growing up in an America where I felt anything was possible. Yeah, call it member berries. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's why I'm voting for Donald Trump. And besides, I think he's a good man, people. I think Donald Trump is a good human being. I'm from New England, so we swear up in the Northeast, and it is so hard for me not to. I know I've slipped on a few of them, but his language doesn't bother me. I've gone back and watched video from years and, going back into the 70s and 80s, and he's really the same person he's always been in terms of his, delivery and how he's just positive, positive, positive. Everything's greater. He's always been that way. That's just who he is. I think I think they like to call him stupid, but it's good for him that you guys all at the left underestimates him. Anyways, I'm voting for that because I don't like statues being torn down. I'm voting for that because I don't like children being shot in the stomach or in the head in the middle of the street. I'm voting for Donald Trump because we're so close, yet so far away from our goals. I'm voting for Donald Trump because we got to get China in line. We got to bring our meds back home. Sorry, I have hereditary angioedema, and my meds are really. I have an array of meds, and I want them brought here. It concerns me. Anyways, guys, I'm a white mom. I am voting for Donald Trump in 2020. That's my president. Stay informed. Stay vigilant. And remember, if Democrats are for the poor people, doesn't it keep let's start that again. I'm working on this, okay? So if Democrats are for poor people, doesn't it make sense that they want to keep the people poor? Bye-bye, guys. Oh, like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Help my channel, please. I've got some stuff to say. I'm working on it. Oh! Anyways, like, share, subscribe. Anything you can do to help the video or the channel would be really appreciated. Conservative moms need to be heard, and I hope you'll help me spread the word. Thanks so much. Bye. Mwah.